can feel the blood creeping up from the heathens. Got will, got fight, got pride, got reason. If they wanna go eat, then you know I'm gon' feed them. If you're coming for me, hope you're ready for a demon. I got eyes in the back of my head, I'm seeing. Take me for granted and you know I'm leaving. I'ma take what's mine with the webs I'm weaving. I could take this crowd from seeing to believing. Got a taste for blood and my tongue keeps bleeding from the words I spit. So sharp, so freezing, so cold. Behold, frostbite they feeling. I could tear you apart or I could go heal them. Don't believe in fate, don't believe in ceilings. I just need a taste and my mind starts peeling. I don't pace myself, I grind on kneeling. Got lust for change, I just love the feeling. I ain't gonna give up. Got too little time, I'ma live up. Head down, push forward through the tough times. Cause anything worth doing is a tough climb. And I ain't gonna give up. Got too little time, I'ma live up. Head down, push forward through the tough times. Cause anything worth doing is a tough climb. Cause I'ma live life for the fight, yeah, I'm here to get it. I got drive, got sight, always have a vision. I go by at night, I be in my feelings. I'ma be fine, need time, and I'll soon be winning. I live life for the fight, yeah, I'm here to get it. I got drive, got sight, always have a vision. I go by at night, I be in my feelings. I'ma be fine, need time, and I'll soon be winning. I can feel the blood creeping up from the heathens. Got will, got fight, got pride, got reason. If they wanna go eat, then you know I'm gon' feed them. If you're coming for me, hope you're ready for a demon. I can feel the blood creeping up from the heathens. Got will, got fight, got pride, got reason. If they wanna go eat, then you know I'm gon' feed them. If you're coming for me, hope you're ready for a demon.
Lakes, no. Okay, we will not be starting a stream at 2 a.m. Can I get a mic check, please? Man, yeah, sorry guys, sorry it's a late one. Had quite a bit of family fly in from out of state, kind of unexpected, some family stuff. So go Mike, appreciate y'all, Oswaldo. So yeah, yeah, we're gonna talk about mechanic mistakes tonight. You know, when it's a beauty about recording stuff. It could be a beauty because you could be like, oh, did I forget this part? And then you go back and you look and you're like, no, I didn't forget it. It's just muscle memory. We just do this without thinking about it. Or you can go back and look and you're like, oh, shit, I really didn't do that. Well, the last short I put out today, when I was siliconing that front cover, I was like, okay, I see myself and I see myself go. Okay, there was a comment by Will something. I forgot his full name, but he asked me, he goes, I see you went on the outside of one of the bolts versus the inside. What was the reason for that? Well, when I went on the outside of a bolt, it's because it's an internal bolt and that needs to get sealed from the outside versus the inside of the bolt hole. Y'all know what I'm talking about, right? Well, as I was editing it, I remembered I had two internal bolts and only one external on the front cover. And then while looking at the damn recording, I see I only went inside on one or outside on one, and I was supposed to go outside on two, opposing each other. Guys, I have this engine hung already. The only way to get the front cover off is to drop the engine. Got to drop the lower oil pan. Then you got two bolts on the inside that you have to come out for the upper oil pan to come off also. Well, I got to thinking when I was on my way home from my family's house, I did the same shit on the upper pan. So, guess what I got to do tomorrow, guys? I got to tear this engine all the way back out. I got to backtrack all the way. Luckily, all I did to this vehicle, the furthest I got was just bolting the engine up because I ended up getting not a comeback. They came back for upsells. So I had some gravy on another vehicle that I got off the front timing cover. They don't need the vehicle till Monday anyways. So all I got to was bolting the engine up. No, of course, I already resealed the upper oil pan. And I resealed the lower oil pan. That lower oil pan was a pain in the butt. You know, I know some of those metal pans, they could get pretty mangled when trying to come out if you ain't got the proper tool. We had a seal separator, don't know what happened to it. So, you know. So tomorrow I got, hopefully the silicone is still fresh, because I sealed this thing up before I left work today. So it'll have like 12 hours of cure time. Y'all know you could put silicone and 6 months later the inside is still tacky. Well, I'm hoping I get to work tomorrow. I haven't even put oil in this thing. I gotta take the lower pan off, take the upper pan off, take the front cover back off, just so I could seal that one bolt hole correctly. Dang. And I'm gonna show y'all. Okay, I'm gonna show y'all what I'm talking about. And I want y'all to share y'all's worst experiences. Okay, this time is money, guys. I already got paid on this job. Because I'm supposed to finish it up tomorrow. Well, it's not gonna get finished up tomorrow, sadly. No, actually, it is, because I'm a bust ass. So I want to show y'all real quick. All right, I'm gonna bring this video up, and I'm gonna show y'all exactly what the hell I am talking about. And it's actually on a full video. No, I haven't even edited that full video yet. Yeah, we can't scrub through this. So yeah, I'm gonna have to. I have no choice but to drop this engine again. And y'all ever cleaned up? Have y'all ever cleaned up fresh silicone? Oh my goodness, it is a mess. It sucks. Not happy about it. But I sure in the hell am not trying to get a comeback. Now, there's other ways you could put. So the thing about this, right? I could easily put silicone on the threads for that one bolt that's in the timing cover. I could easily put silicone on those threads, seal up the hole where the bolt goes through. That way nothing gets past the head of the bolt, past the threads, and then out the timing cover. Because that's the way the oil is going to travel. Because I have the inside sealed. Well, check this out, guys. Let me share this screen. Now, this is me being completely honest, okay? Just because we do this stuff every day don't mean we don't mess up. There's times where, we're just this is where you got to be mindful of stuff. So y'all see right here, right? Correct. That hole is an internal bolt hole. So of course I sealed the outside of it so oil doesn't get outside. Okay. This is an external bolt right here. That's a bolt hole for the outside. This bolt right here, I was supposed to come around and go on the outside. Because if you flip the cover over, there's another cover that goes right here on the other side that gets sealed up. So we're not worried about oil getting to the bolt. We don't care about that. We need the oil not to escape out. Now, if I leave it like this, like I said, oil will get through the bolt hole, right? It won't get through here. It'll go on the other side of the bolt where the head is, and it'll leak through the threads, and then it'll cause a leak right here. Okay, it'll look like the timing cover is leaking in the same spot, but in reality, it'll be leaking right here. I'm trying to avoid that. Now, there's a good possibility that this silicone got squeezed into the bolt hole and squeezed into the threads, and it won't leak out. But I'm not willing to take that chance. So I'm going to do what I have to do. This job pays enough to where I guess I can afford to backtrack. But damn, it just sucks. It really sucks. And that's the shitty thing about being a flat rate technician. But we got to be mindful, okay? Stuff happened with this front cover. When I got it off, we noticed a crack on the oil pickup when I was about to start cleaning up this cover. And I was like, wait, what the hell? Is that a crack? Sure shit, it was a crack. So I went to it's like a metal seal with rubber around it. Went to take that off and the piece just fell off. And I was like, oh, hell no. So we got extended warranty to cover the cover. So that was halfway of my day yesterday. So today I was just trying to get back together, and I didn't realize I had 2 bolt holes, and then on the upper pan as well. I was just looking at my video. I was like, oh shit, I did the same thing there. Damn. So maybe I should have just, because there's people that are very generous with silicone. They'll put thick beads and then go completely around the bolt hole, which I should have just done. I try to make it look as factory as possible, but this time it did not work. It bit me in the butt. So yeah, who we got up in here? We got. I see some members up in here. All right, we got Lakes Automotive. Boy, what's going on, Lakes? Sergio, Quick Wrench, Pito, Shannon, what's going on, Shannon? Supra, we got Wrenching up in the house. We got Peter. Who else? I know. Oh, M Leisure, John of Some Trades, what's going on? And got Tarek. I should try silicone my butt. Oh no, you might have some issues if you do that, brother. Zach Price, what's going on, Zach? And is that it for the members? Yeah. All right. So yeah, we're gonna bring a panel on. I want to hear some mistakes. Just I don't want to take too long with stories. Just try to get to the point, because I can't be on late today, guys. I got on an hour, 2 hours late, 3 hours late, and I got to work tomorrow. I'm trying to be in early actually, because I got to backtrack all the way back down. Oh hell no! So let's get through these comments real quick, and then I'll start sending out emails. I know there's got to be some. I want to hear some juicy stuff, and I'll tell y'all about mine. I want to start it off with my mistake, fresh mistake. I shouldn't have made that mistake, but it happens. Let's go, Fluffy. I am ready. What's going on, Oswaldo? Lakes, my boy. I know you got some stories, Lakes. Yes, sir. What's going on? Sergio, how you doing, bro? Quick Wrench. I know Quick Wrench in his 50 years of wrenching. I know damn well he has some stories too. Next. What do you mean, Lakes? Yes, indeed. What's going on, Pito? Hopefully you're doing good. Hey, Shannon, what's up? Let me see. Next week's stream starts at 2 a.m. I hope not, bro. I hope not. If I would have made it home at, I don't know, if it was like 30 more minutes later, I wouldn't have started up. I would have just put a post out. Yeah. Happy Friday. I almost postponed till tomorrow, but I think I'm gonna be with the family tomorrow. I'm not gonna be in such a rush to get home. Happy Friday, Super. Happy Friday, end of the week. Oh, I got one more day, bro. One more day. Happy Friday, Wrenching. Hello, everyone. How you doing, Peter? What's going on, everyone? Hope you all have a great week, man. And I made some decent hours this week too. So, I made enough hours this week where I'm rolling over like 12 hours for next week. Hey, everyone. How's it going? What's going on, Randy? Go, Mike. Thank you, Oswaldo. Mike, check loud and clear. Appreciate you. Good, Mike. Thank you. It's been a long week. Mine is still not over. OT to hey, that's what's up, Shannon. Gotta love that OT. What it do, my guy? You good, man? People have to understand YouTubers are normal people with lives. Hey, yeah, it's some pretty serious stuff actually, but I'll give y'all an update. So, hey guys, M Leisure, what's going on? M Leisure coworker dropped the engine with no. Oh, God, that is one of my worst fears, is to have an assembly fall off. Man, oof. Transmissions, engine assemblies. Yeah, crazy. What's going on, John? Welding undercarriage in the back seat. Oh no, caught fire. I've had a caught fire one. I've had one catch fire, but we're trying to get a fuel sample actually, and I don't know, something sparked underneath the hood, and yeah, it went up in flames. I tell you what, you ain't never seen a fat man run until he's scared. Leaving tools and tires. Oh, what the hell? A bad unbalance and noise. Hey there, M. Hey Shannon, did you guys see DW Ferrari burned to DW? Who's DW? Who's DW? Wrenching? Whistling diesel Ferrari burned to hell. What the? Oh, what? No, how'd that happen? My tonight is left side hub, tie rod and sway bar endings for the MDX. But the VTEC solenoid is acting up, so I have to pull it and clean it out, see if I can finish. It's acting up. You don't want to replace that VTEC solenoid? So what if it's a winding issue? A winding issue. Mafia, I saw it. Dude, that's crazy. Did he do it on purpose? I have to do a rear electric motor on a vehicle. Forget all that. I should try and silicone my butthole to seal the hole. Don't do that, Tarek. Coworker somehow forgot put two head. How the heck? I mean, it happens. It happens. Then I pull a trans for a rear main seal, complete for front suspension kit, strut, swapping the manual fan to electric. All upgrades, serpentine belt and tensioner, rear air shocks, hood gate lift struts, O2 sensors. Damn, that's totaled out that vehicle or what? What up, Fluff? Hope everyone had a good week this week. It's been all right. Just dealing with stuff behind the scenes, bro. What's going on, Frank? Hey, Zach. Zach, my man, how are you? Made my ass Made my ass over to Colorado finally. Then someone tried breaking into my car, destroyed the. Oh God, dude, I can't stand that shit. What's up, Fluffy and fam? What's going on East Coast? Ken, how you doing, brother? Leisure. What's up, Shannon? How you doing? Zach. That sucks, Zach, very much, man. I hate thieves. I hate when people don't expect. I hate when people don't respect other people's property. Okay, I don't care if it's an old junker or a brand new car. Okay, that is somebody's property. Like, you ever hear somebody say, like, I don't know, let's say a door ding, right? You bump somebody's old rust bucket. It's rusted anyways. No, dude, what the hell? That's somebody else's property. They probably care about that truck, car, whatever. Just respect it, man. Damn. Damn, all good people up in here. Yes, sir. Then it's paint and body. Holy shit, it's a full restoration. Amnesia. Hey, Eek. What up? What's going on, TBSS? How you doing, brother? How you doing? Now, I'm gonna be in the Dallas area at the end of the month, guys. Not bad. You know who I need to reach out to? I need to reach out to Fred. I need to reach out to him. Go have dinner with him or something. If he ain't working. Not bad, thank you. Sorry to hear about your window. Yeah, that sucks. Next time, just be a little more friendly with the silicone. That's what I need to do. Good to hear, man. Any plans this weekend? What's good, Fluffy? What's going on? Look at it closely. How are you doing? Quick wrench. Working OT tonight. That about it. Damn. Must be nice to get OT. Is it okay to manually shift a truck with a gear selector? Yes. I don't know. I used to do it all the time. I bet you almost didn't even want to get on after tonight dealing with it. So, yes, no, but I think it made for a decent topic. Just me being transparent with y'all. I don't really talk about my screw ups too much, but I mean, it's not costing anybody money except for me. And how is that? I mean, time. It's costing me time. Tomorrow was gonna be kind of a freebie day if I would have got this thing done. So it is what it is. It is what it is, legs. Ugh. But these timing covers are easy enough to where, I've done my fair share of them. And I was trying to try something new on this vehicle. Y'all gonna see in a full length video whenever I get to uploading it. Hey, I hope y'all had a good week. It was good until today. Quick wrench. It was okay until today. Hey, Dave. Hope you're doing well, my man. Not too bad, Dave. Been a busy week for sure. I feel that. I mean, it's been heavy line all week for me. How about shattering a windshield, installing a motor? Yep, I did that the day before the customer came. Oh God, I shattered a window too. I spidered a glass. Um, my story on that is just that I was wrenching on a cowl, a wiper cowl, and had an extension and was doing that number right, and the ass end of the handle smacked the windshield and it just spidered it. That's my story and I'm sticking to it. East Coast Ken getting close on subs. Keep it going. What's East Coast at right now? Damn. Quarter intake caught a car on or two on. Wait, you hold on. I want to hear these stories, man. I need y'all to get on. Peyton Perry, yo, what's up, Flo? Why does that name sound familiar? You been in the stream before? The truck looks familiar. What's going on, Perry? Yeah, quick range. I'm getting there. That's what's up. Hell yeah, congrats. Yo, what's going on? Alvaro and Gomez? What's going on? Welcome to the chat. Forgot to add blinker fluid after blinker fluid and this guy. What up, A? Fellers with attitude. FWA? What you mean? Fellers with attitude. I like that. Works for me personally. My partner couldn't figure out how to shut off an engine. The cutoff switch, and class didn't work. Well, let's just say in class, everyone in class was shocked by the ignition coil. That's nice. Been there. Not with shutting it down, but testing spark. What's good? I like that Tahoe, bro. It's a nice Tahoe. Riding Ferrari in a field of Texas. Riding for a minivan fire. Oh God, you got to be careful with that. What is it? The dry grass and touches the catalytic converters. Flame up. You good? Got to be down for that OPP. Yeah, you know me. I'm not even parked on the street. I'm in a gated parking garage and they have security. Oh my god. The thing about that, like who's guarding that? Because I'm in a gated community also. And the gate stays open long enough for multiple cars. As long as there's a car passing through, like the gate could be halfway closed. A car pulls up to it, it'll open up. Like, come on, man. They need to time that stuff a little better. Dry field and a random field. Oof. Maybe I can run down to Dallas. I'm gonna be there for a little bit. I got training, so I'm gonna be very limited on time. Can you see, bro? See what Alvaro. Well, yesterday my mama car broke down. We took car to yesterday's mechanic and they replaced ignition, bro. Damn, Frank, you didn't try taking a stab at it. I saw the nicest car truck a few months ago at a gas station in town. It looked like it was late 40. Oh man, I've been seeing quite a bit of those coming out. It was in very decent shape and pretty colors too. That's what's up. Do they have it on camera? You can normally shift if you stay within parameters and not all the time. We took a 6-hour class with our manufacturer on how to put sealant, and they showed us with plexiglass and showed us how it spreads. So what do you think, wrenching? I mean, I still have to pull the upper pan. And once I pull the upper pan, it's only a matter of dropping the engine. It's 6 bolts to drop the engine after you take the pan off. Yes, they do in 3 cars. So a funny thing about that, wrenching, when I said it's only 6 bolts, is literally, 7 bolts, 8 on the top engine mount and then on the trans mount. Dude, when I realized I wasn't going to be able to get the front cover off without taking the lower pan off, because it kept getting stuck. Like it felt like I was on a swivel. So I was like, yeah, I'm not even gonna chance it. So, and I was being a guinea pig. I was being dumb. I should have just gone with my gut. So I put the engine back in the car, right? I put it in. Took like 5 minutes maybe. Took another 10 minutes to take the upper pan off, get it dropped down. And I had it back on the table in 20 minutes maybe. So it wasn't too bad. I should have just yeah. Dumb. Yes, they do, and 3 other cars have damage too, but Said I have to file a police report before. That is what the hell? That's dumb. When it's your own property, we'll hope you can get answers. Wow. Used my feet to remove the front glass on the 72 C10 at work yesterday. Literally laid on my back, spread my feet, and pushed slowly until it popped out. 2 guys were. No shit. Dang. Late start. Yes, sir. Dad's garage. My uncle is keeping me posted on y'all's comments on that community post. Yeah, like I said, if I would have been 15 to 30 minutes later, I would have just postponed it probably till Sunday. Thank you. Me too, man. Could always be worse. Gotta keep on keeping on. Definitely. True that. What's an OPP? You ain't never heard that song, Frank? I forgot what song it is. Do you have the M12 or M18 cock gun? Thinking of get me one. I have the M12. It's kind of weird because it does have a variable trigger, but it's like even with the variable trigger, it'll be coming out. I have it on speed like 1.5. So like barely pulling the trigger is like too slow, and then you keep squeezing, and then it just speeds up, and you're like, whoa, hold up, wait. Trying to keep up with it. Yeah, whistling diesel lost about around $550,000 in the Ferrari and minivan. Hey, but you know it's a damn write-off for him. Right off. Got a UPS box truck. I'm replacing the side paneling on for my first project here. Brakes caught fire, and I'm assuming torched all the paneling. Damn, buckled the floor from the. Oh, that is crazy. Thank you, Frank. That is wild. Holy crap. In Waco. Oops. In Waco, Texas. You're in Waco? You're in Waco right now? Waco, Texas. 254. Let me see. Who's still up in here? That's not what I'm looking for. Not what I'm looking for either. Damn it. I thought it was muffler. Got bad. Oh. What happened? How do you not know that going to 200 mile an hour get hot? Shit get real hot. All right, let me see. Oh, what am I doing? This is myself. Oh, snap. Fluffy, what's up? Give the video a thumbs up. FM fam. Yes, thank you, DLC. Appreciate the $10 donation. Yeah, let's get them likes up a little bit, guys. What's going on? Have you experienced car caught fire? I have. And you know, people, when I talk about when I talk about valve covers leaking onto manifolds and catalytic converters, people like to fight me in the comments saying that, oh, you're using scare tactic, blah 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 blah. I've seen it. We've had vehicles towed in because of it. Man, and I wish. Let me see if I have a freaking picture of it. Because it wasn't the battery. You can tell where this fire started. It was not the battery. We had investigators come out, and what happened was there was a quick lube place, wherever they got their oil changed last, and they left the oil cap off, so it caught fire, and yeah, this shit wasn't good. Burned. Let me see. Half of the hood was missing because it burned in the center. So half of the hood was missing, and then like all the wiring, half of the battery got melted off. It's crazy. It was a crazy one. Let's see if I can find it real quick to show you. And then there was another one. Vehicle came in. It came in. Get this. It came in They complained that it stalled out, right? So their complaint was that it stalled out. I start up the vehicle, clack, 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 clack. Oh my god! I look underneath, leaking oil like crazy. So I drive it in, right? And turns out it actually threw a rod. Like it disintegrated that rod, so it didn't lock it up. So engine gets approved, start tearing it apart. Well, as soon as we get the beauty cover off, everything was burnt underneath. So that's why I had stalled out, because the injector harness got burned. How the hell it was running? I don't know. I do not know. Like I said, all they complained about was that the vehicle stalled out. Here we go. So I'm gonna email myself this picture, and I'm gonna show y'all. This is freaking crazy. All from oil. People like to fight me on this shit, man. But of course, people that are willing to fight you in the comments, man, they normally don't do this for a living. They go based off of what they're told, not what they experience. Let's see. Bucks. So here we got this right here. Y'all see that? Y'all see that? Look at that. The manifold is right here. Here's the battery tray. Here's the ECM. Airbox is supposed to be right there. And all that got burnt up. Pretty freaking crazy. So even though there's a heat shield right here, the flame comes up from underneath it and just starts cooking. And if y'all see it, cooked the windshield. Some of the dash was melted. Yeah, that was crazy. I'd never seen nothing like that before. And then I realized, yeah, these oil leaks, they can get hot enough to burn some stuff. Just wanted to show that with y'all real quick. Wilson Diesel was in Waco when the oh shit, no shit. What the hell? I did not know he was here. Address, prefer blue one. Okay. Hey, Sergio, all right, brother. I'll send you out some. I still haven't even done it. I've been so damn busy. Hopefully tomorrow I get those sent out. See tomorrow 105. Same. Already thumbs up. Thank you, John. Has a car falling off the lift? Not on my clock, not on my watch. Close, very close, but not yet. And I hope it never happens. Then I think if a vehicle falls off with me, I think I'll just retire. I'm done. I ain't gonna do this shit no more. Record 7 cars in 2 weeks in my shop. What do you mean? What do you mean, Oswaldo? That is so terrifying. See, I've seen fires as well. My old van caught fire from oil after it blew the head off. Oil and cats don't mix. Dude, that's crazy. Because you go in my comment section where I talk about that. Oil doesn't catch fire. Okay. In 28 years, had 3 cars catch fire while shops I worked at. None were a total loss. Save them all. That's the beauty about having the right fire extinguishers. That's pretty good. Damn good. Dave have plenty of that one that caught fire when we were getting a fuel sample. I had to replace one breather hose or PCV hose and then 3 injector connectors. So we got it out pretty quick. Luckily, I am so surprised that the injector itself didn't burn. That's pretty good. Have plenty of yes, we're required. I have an old neighbor. He was cool, but now he is a bully. But I remember 2005, 6 ish, 7 Jimmy. GMC Jimmy caught fire, massive fire, but it was stolen. Stolen. Oh shit. Let me see. John, sending you out a link. Who else wants to join in? Holy shit. Oh wait, hold up. Worst one, battery that exploded while driving vehicle. Oh my god, dude, have you ever smelled one? Oh, that shit smells stinky. Live stream. Oh, FBM. Yes, thank you. Thank you. I just read your message, FBM. Holy shit. That's what I'm saying. Looks like crispy there. Yeah. That is so crazy. That's crazy, Fluff. I never told you about that DLC. They tried saying I was the one that did the oil change. Boy, my heart was racing. Because we'll work on a car and then a similar looking car will come through. And we're like, what happened there? And then we start blaming. You just worked on a black Ultima. Shit, I did. What did I do to it? Because I know damn if it was my fault, I would not be putting it out there like that. And we still this photo was when? Let me see when this photo was. 2018. 2018. That was 5 years ago. Almost to the day. Yeah, August 24th, 2018. That is crazy. Oil and hot turbos cause fire. Oh, yes, they do. Yes, they do. Heard a battery blow up one time. Dude, I have never heard one. I've had one blow up on me, but not fire. It was when I was a little loopy. I was carrying a battery and held it like that underneath, and I went like that to grab the door and pull it. Well, the door pulled this hand off, and the battery just went whoop and splashed acid onto my legs. Luckily, I was wearing Dickies. The only thing that happened to the Dickies is they got bleached. I was scared. Long story short, I had to freaking buy a battery. A lot of fires happen from shady mechanics who do shoddy electrical work and bad. Hey, I used to be one of those bad stereo installers until I learned. Okay, I was a youngster, and then I actually learned how to do wiring, and I was like, yeah, fuses, not black tape. I was taught. Twist them together, tape them. Hell nah. Can nitrous cause an explosion? No. Nitrous is a catalyst, right? It is a catalyst. It's not flammable. It's like air. Air. Uh, have you had a vehicle fall off before gone wrong? No, sir, not yet. Trey Arizola. I've seen a car fall. Trey Areola. Were you there? Were you there when it happened? I don't know if you were there or not, bro. Ooh, I have a fit. I don't know. 7 cars have fallen out. Like recently. Oh no. I'm known as a comeback kid. Sam Strawlers, what's going on? Comeback kid, what you coming back on? Did I send? Yeah, I sent Sergio the link. I sent a few people the link already. Have you seen those vids where the tech gets crushed by the car? No, but have you seen the video where the guy is on a single post lift? He got a Dodge Ram up in the air. And the camera's up there, right? And then he steps out from under the vehicle, and the Dodge Ram just pow. Dude, talk about luck. Model of the car audio installer drilled through a Porsche gets taken. Oh God. Be mindful of where you're drilling. When I was 18, I was putting oil in a Dodge Omni and got some on the manifold and caught fire at the gas pump. Good thing there was a fire. I was crapping bricks. It was out. Oh, I'm glad you got it out, Shannon. Do you watch Martin Vaca Mexicanos? Because I do not. I haven't seen, like I said before, I'm not really paying attention to a lot of the big YouTubers. Like I pay more attention to the subscribers than anything else. And then like most of my time on YouTube is replying to comments. My pride to get shit on whenever one of my cars comes back. Last time Because I left my pocket screwdriver in the trunk. Ooh, I got a tool coming back to me tomorrow. Supposedly I left it in there. Let's see what John. What's going on, John?
What's happening?
Had an alternator explode twice, neither from bad wiring but long trips. Dude, aftermarkets?
Nope.
What the
OEM.
damn? What's W3's gun? Do you guys use for small stuff? For small stuff, I'm using my 16-volt Infinium. That goes hell to mid range. I could do almost a whole transmission with the little 3/8, but I could do a whole transmission with just a 3/8 pneumatic. Speaking of which, burning was smell nasty. Yeah, burning electrical will turn your stomach. That shit stinks. My car.
Battery.
Oh, Sam, you take that with pride, bro? Oh, I hope not. I love watching the text face when I bring my car back. Oh, dude, that's not funny. Frank, we're not doing that. All right, so what's the deal with this alternator? What happened?
Which one? So, well, guess we can start with the first one.
TBS.
Driving to Missouri, going to Blue Springs, Missouri from Albuquerque, New Mexico. And after passing a tornado, dealing with some bad weather, we pull into town, and all of a sudden, like, there's a loud bang, and like everything shuts off. I'm like, what in the holy hell was that? And I happened to be in front of an AutoZone, so I rolled in, but it was after hours. And the guys actually stayed open to help us, but the alternator went out and it shorted. So, of course, when you short a 1,000 amp battery, something's got to give. And it was part of the whole voltage regulator like blew out. I never did find it. And then like all the wiring and even melted to the battery, and part of the battery melted. So I had to replace everything. And the guys helped me do it in the parking lot while it was snowing too. And then the second time I was in our Ranger moving, and that's when I was hauling like the total weight was 15,000 with the truck. So it was like over 10,000 in weight, but I had, the trailer lights and stuff. And then I was just driving along, and all of a sudden I thought the brakes locked up or something, because I just saw sparks flying out the side of the front of the truck. I'm like, what in the hell is that? I was like, crap, the brakes are gone. So I didn't know what to do because I didn't want to hit the brakes to pull over.
Yeah.
And I was going downhill. So I'm like, oh my God, what do I do? So like I tried downshifting, and then all of a sudden all the dash lights turned on. I'm like, okay, well, I think the alternator went. I was like, but what the hell are all those sparks from? And again, same thing happened. I blew out the alternator. It exploded out the whole back side of the alternator. I mean, it was gone. There was it was melted, gone, didn't exist. It was just the front half of the alternator. So the only thing we could do was charge up the battery as much as we could with another car. And then I had all the lights off, no fans, no anything, no radio, no nothing. All I had was my LED light bar. And I made it halfway into town, and then we had to charge it up one more time. And then I made it into town, but it shut off as I got into town. And then we charged it up one more time, and I made it right to my shop.
Yeah.
So twice that's happened where I've actually had alternators explode.
So how far were you able to go on just the battery?
About, I think it's like 112 miles. No, wait. Okay, so it was halfway.
On just the battery?
Yeah.
Dude, how?
Like I said, just a LED light bar, so I had no anything on. And
yeah, but you're running fuel pump, you're running an ignition system, ECMs.
It's on a 2000 Ranger. I mean, there's not a lot. There really isn't. I disconnected the trailer, so I didn't have no trailer lights. All I was running is just the light bar. That was it. And
We have a lot of electricals that's running while even
that was
on a older vehicle like that.
1,000
And
cranking.
it's an automatic, right?
Yeah, automatic.
I mean, you're pulling amps to keep those solenoids alive.
Those transmissions don't really pull much. There's not a lot on those things. I mean, if you look at that's why I'm having to upgrade the alternator on my Explorer. They only come with like 65 or 75 amp alternators, so they don't draw much of nothing. And if you disconnect all the lights, the radio, all that, the lights are what take up the most. So if you're just running an LED bar, it's not bad. I mean, I made it. It's 227 miles, I want to say, and we were at the halfway point when it exploded.
Oh.
But it was
crazy.
Yeah, both times it actually happened in the snow. So I don't know if it has to do with maybe getting water in them, but I've seen it happen with a customer that oil kept getting in. I kept warning them. I told them the first time they came in for an oil change, they needed to get that valve cover fixed because it was leaking oil in the alternator and it was going to short out. I kept warning them. The starter quit. I replaced the starter and I said, look, the starter is saturated in oil. That you need to get this fixed because the alternator is going to go out. And they're like, well, we'll get it. Well, before they could get it, the alternator exploded. Because you got, 650 to 1,000 amps, running through those alternators on a 4-gauge cable, sometimes bigger. I mean, that's some serious power on the back end of one of those, and when those things go out, I mean, it just blows out the whole back half.
You're saying 1,000 amps coming out of an alternator?
No, the battery. Your battery, you can have like 1,000 cranking amp battery, and when you run 1,000 amp battery through like 2-aught, that's a whole lot of current. So when those alternators short, all that current, it's just a major short. It's like taking the two posts of a battery and just connecting them straight to each other. And I'm sure you've seen what happens to a wrench when you.
Oh yeah.
But
how does the fusible link not pop?
Most cars don't have fusible links. I mean, Nissan might, but
we've had fusible links for 30 years, maybe.
The Fords that I've done, none of them had fusible links. It's just the wire to the starter. Sometimes it's either have 2 wires off the battery, one from the alternator or one to the starter, or sometimes it's one to the starter, then that feeds the alternator. But there's not a lot of fusible links. I'm sure that's probably why many of them are starting to put fusible links.
So was the alternator still able to spin?
No. Oh no. No, there was no back half. It blows the whole back shell of the alternator off.
So it had no pulley.
No, the front half had the pulley. The back half didn't. There was no
had dry belt.
Yeah.
Well, the back half wouldn't have a pulley anyway.
Right. The back half just has your
regulator. The back half has a support bearing back there. So that's crazy. That is super crazy.
It's been some fun stuff. I mean, I've seen more than I've experienced, and thankfully that's because when you spend 18 years watching mechanics make mistakes, you learn what not to do. But then sometimes your old school ways of not too long ago, I was still, if you have a vacuum leak, find it with a brake cleaner. Just spray around your intake, and then when you hear the RPMs change, you know where it's at. Well, brake cleaner also finds when you have broken spark plug wires, and it creates a nice flame. So yeah, I caught the whole top of the engine on fire, melted the vacuum hoses and
I'll
everything.
be right back.
So sometimes my old ways will get me in trouble, but I've watched enough cars fall off of lifts to know to check them real good to make sure they don't fall off. I've seen engines catch on fire, so I'm cautious about a lot of things.
Luckily, I have not seen a car fall off the lift.
Well, I've seen
Been
a lot.
close. I've been close, but
I've seen somebody get hurt. Here's another thing: wedding rings and electronics don't mix.
oh hell no.
And I have seen a mechanic get his finger burned, singed off, or almost completely off, but the ring, like
Sent you a link how to?
the link melted, or link, the ring melted into his skin, and it like he ended up losing the finger in the long run because they couldn't get the ring off anyway. So they just had to cut the whole thing off. But it was from him working under the dash trying to fix an ignition switch, and he happened to just touch those wires. And gold's soft enough that once it connects, you ain't getting it off.
Yeah.
Sorry, sound like somebody was pounding on something.
Oh, Sam, might want to check some suspension stuff. You might have something that's worn out, a bushing, something shifting. Because
Yeah, dude, if you've had that many alignments, like your alignment shop's not doing their job telling you what's wrong.
Could be a bad rack. You could have something wonky or inner tie rod ends that are messed up.
Something has way too much play in it. The oil leak wiped out the alternator on my North Star.
I had a Chevy service truck that the alternator took a shit and wiped out like every board in the whole truck.
Oh, that's fun.
What's up?
Then they tried to blame me. They're like, "Well, you had an error light." I'm like, "It said the battery wasn't charging. That's all it said." Like, and then it went away.
That companies try to they try to blame the drivers for everything.
Yeah, and I'm like, "Well, I called my foreman. He's like, all right, well," and like as soon as I like pulled out of like where I was parked, it went away. So I'm like, all right, it's good. Literally a mile from my house, it just died.
You're wrenching from cooling? What? I gotta hear more on that. Are you guys ready for weather in San Diego?
Just rain.
We need rain here.
It's probably like 100 right now, bro. I'm sweating big time.
Bro, I was driving home. It was 102.
Oh, it's not that hot here.
We're
It
hitting
doesn't get that
record
hot.
days
Well,
right
not usually.
They said that there's a possibility of us getting up to 116.
Yeah, no, yet another reason why Texas sucks.
I'm not in Texas. I'm worse because we've got like our humidity never drops below 37 if we're lucky. Because we've got three big lakes within like walking distance pretty much. And then there's creeks in every neighborhood. There's at least a creek, swimming pool, there's like little ponds and stuff. So there's so much water here that it's just nonstop humidity.
I'm done with humidity for the year.
Yeah, I've been here 2 years and I'm pretty much done with it already.
When we went to Florida, I'm just like, people live like this? Like, nah, dude.
We're not that bad, but close. The problem we have is we're right in that jet stream crap. So, like right now, that big heat wave thing that's hit that dome, we're right where that dome is hitting, but we're on the edge of it. So, we're either going to get 116 or we're going to get 106.
Oh, we lost Anthony.
Yeah, we're supposed to. There's a hurricane coming up from Baja.
Yeah,
here, so that's why everybody's like panicking. I'm like,
it's not the
we'll
first
be
thing.
fine. Yeah, I mean, we've gotten them in years past. It's not a common occurrence, but like, I'm so far inland that I'm like, it'll rain, but other than like, I have to throw a tarp over my chicken's coop because I haven't finished the roof yet. I mean, they'll be fine.
Well, just think, Hillary's caused problems for the whole country many times.
It is what it is.
Oh shit.
What?
Oh man, I reported a comment and it got rid of other comments. Fuck.
On purpose?
No, fuck. I reported the comment on purpose and it deleted the whole thread.
Oh, like on a short or whatever?
Yeah.
Mm.
It was the comment wasn't from Rain Man Ray, but it was a comment of somebody portraying his wife. It was a fake account. Oops.
It probably just deleted it just for you. Was it on your short?
Yeah.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah, it is.
You
Because
see that?
Rain Man saw the name and I guess he commented on it. And yeah, I reported it because he said that ain't his wife, so fuck that. Have that. And it just deleted the whole fucking thread. That's great. Rain Man finally commented on one of my videos and it's gone. Anthony, what you got for a story, bro? What you got?
For mistakes? Is that what it was?
Yeah, mistakes.
Oh man, which one? As in repair or just anything?
Repair. Automotive related. Whether it
Oh,
was you or somebody else.
you know what? I think I told this story one time. I put a radiator in a Duramax, and I wasn't paying attention. And there's like a fan. There's a shroud that goes over the radiator, and it's held in by two 10. No, it's like 210s or 213s. But they're short. And I grabbed the wrong two set of bolts that were maybe, I shit you not, they were maybe like, oh man, they weren't that much longer. And it just so happened that when you put the right side one in, it sits right on the tank side, and it put a hole in a brand new radiator. That shit sucked. That was like a $500 radiator.
Yeah.
There was another time. What did I do? Oh, I was doing like an old I think it's like a 2.4 Ecotech on it was like an old Traverse, and I think I put pistons in it. I put piston rings in it, and
Ow.
what happened was I put it back together, and I set the timing, and I had two other guys. I had a shop foreman look at it and another guy look at it, and they were like, "Yeah, it's all good." Whacked the tensioner, set it, went to start it. As soon as it went to crank, lost compression. And I was like,
I remember you telling me.
that don't sound good. It ended up being the exhaust valves all got bent because the exhaust, one of the sprockets didn't set on the dowel. So it was just, when it went to crank, it cocked and it bent all the exhaust valves. We had to put new valves in it. That was all that was wrong.
That almost happened to me on a 4.0. There was multiple holes on the sprocket. So there's a big hole and a small hole, and I put the damn dowel in a big hole. It was 180 degrees. Luckily, I cranked it over by hand before starting it. Like timing, I cranked it, or not cranked it, but yeah, I cranked it by hand, and I felt thunk. I was like, "That's not good." I was like, "Well, let me take this shit apart."
My buddy put a TCM in today or yesterday. He's putting a TCM in an 8-speed, I think. And I told him, I said, "Hey, make sure you get the numbers on the TCM. Take a picture here and here." He puts it back together, and I'm reprogramming this truck. And he walks over. He goes, "Hey, man." He goes, "I already put in all the fluid, and I started the truck, and I'm trying to reprogram it. It's asking me for the codes on the TCM." Like, you dummy, I told you. He's like, "Oh, you didn't tell me." I was like, "I sat there and told you. You got to get the numbers off the TCM." He's like, "Oh, man." I don't know what he ended up doing. I don't know what the hell he did, but he rolled it out.
Hey, let me ask you something. Since you're at a Chevy dealership, y'all still see Saabs?
Hell no. Somebody
No?
was just talking about that. They were like, "Yeah, we can't even get parts for that shit anymore."
Oh, no, those have been long gone.
I need somebody, I have somebody that needs an ECM.
Did you see my last short?
I didn't.
My buddy pulled right before we left. He pulled in a 2020. I want to say it's a 2020. It can't. I don't think it's a 22 because it already has like 80,000 miles. I think it's a 20. A Camaro with a 6.2 in it and a cylinder 7. I had a history of misfire on cylinder 7, but we pulled it in. It's fucking knocking. I mean, it's knocking. But no misfire, no nothing. We know what's wrong with it, but pull the valve cover off. And we're like, oh yeah, we're gonna find a bent push rod for sure. Pull the valve cover, crank it. Sure enough, 7's not moving, and we pull the push rod out. There's nothing wrong with the push rod. I almost never see that. We usually when the lifter fails, it's like 9 out of 10. You always bend the push rod, and it didn't bend. So for this guy, he might get away with just lifters on that side. But if he's got a scratch in his cam, he needs cam and lifters.
Ooh,
But
that does not sound fun.
Welcome to Dodge life.
yeah, yeah. A majority of the cam. Matter of fact, I got to put an engine in one. It's a 2015. Mine's a 7. I have a 17 personally, but it's a 15, I think. And it's got a cylinder 7's filled with oil. It's funny. He actually got quoted at the last shop that I used to work at. They told him he needed cam and lifters, and I'm like, bro, who the hell did not look at this car right? The fucking cylinder
What the fuck?
is filled with oil. Why would it need lifters?
Dude,
Like,
I'm over here. Dude, I'm over here like, why the fuck can't I find your channel? I wasn't even subscribed.
Oh man,
I
bro.
just subbed.
Yeah, check out the shorts, man. I just been. It's weird how fast how many views the shorts get rather than the actual videos you post.
Oh, dude.
It's weird.
All people have to do is scroll through the shorts feed, and that's it.
Yeah, I'm gonna start posting some more shorts when I get. You know what? I posted one, but it was a picture, and I don't know where it went. So I was soldering some stuff, and I was like, well, what's your setup? Like, what do you guys use? You know what I mean?
Yeah. I already found it.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, right there.
Oh yeah, I had to do this.
Community post.
Guy complaining, guys. It's a 6.6 Duramax. Nobody wanted to look at it. I specifically got hired and told them I do not want to work on diesels, but nobody wants to look at it. It's one of the longest cars that's been there. I said, you know what? Just give me the damn car. It's out of warranty. It's CP. I'll look at it. This guy had a fuel rail pressure sensor on the passenger side. Come to find out, the connector was broken and the pressure sensor tab was broken as well. But there's a bulletin for that connector, though. It builds corrosion and it sets off a fuel performance code. So I recommended the connector. And then when I soldered the new connector in. And then when I went to go put it on, I was like, oh shit, the tabs are broken off the pressure sensor. I was like, well, now he needs that. Luckily, he had extended. So we were able to get both of them. So I put it all back together and went and drove the piss out of it, and it looks good now. He's got like an aftermarket K&N. It looks dirty as shit. He had map sensor codes. I told him, hey, look, put his shit back to stock, bring it back to us. If not, get it out of here.
Ooh, I love those.
Yeah, I tell him all the time.
Put it back to stock.
Well, we used to tell him all the time, oh I got map sensor codes and mass airflow codes. Well, yeah, you got this big ass K&N air filter. You got a command pedal hooked up to it. Like at least if you're gonna tune your Duramax, use Banks. Like Banks that's what he does. You know, he makes shit work on GM stuff. Like I've personally heard that GM literally builds him engines and sends them directly to him.
Yep, he develops stuff directly back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
So like I tell them all the time, you got map sensor codes, mass airflow, and I open the hood and you got like some fucking AEM or K&N, get it out of my stall, bro. Don't come back until you change it.
Yep.
And I don't care if it's under warranty or it's not. I used to kick them out all the time because it's just a
Dude,
way.
what people don't realize on these newer vehicles,
Oh
those
yeah.
K&Ns, those K&Ns do not filter worth the shit.
Nope.
They don't filter, and then the oil that you gotta put on those K&Ns to attract the dust, right? That's how it filters.
Yeah, and then people don't clean them.
Well, not only that, but it sucks the oil and the oil coats the sensor.
Yep.
They're not thinking about
right.
that. Yeah. It causes too much flow, so you might as well just leave your air box open.
They're not that bad.
It's they're not too bad. I mean,
on these
on the newer, I think on the newer stuff though, they really. I mean, I'll give you an example. The Chevy Cruises and the Impalas.
Mm-hmm.
If you put the fucking air filter in crooked, it'll set off a mass airflow code. Like they are really sensitive on the newer cars.
So
we had a customer on a 2022 Frontier. Put a cold air intake. kept throwing, and he had a throttle body spacer also.
Oh,
like, bro, put it to stock. Well, I did, and it still ran the same. Really? Because it looks like you didn't.
Yeah.
Like, put it to stock or buy new stuff.
I tell people, man, don't buy nothing with a turbo. I got 2 Cruises sitting there that need pistons.
Oof.
They only make diesels with turbos, so
always cylinder 1, bro. Pistons or an engine. Depends on whatever.
They only make turbos with diesels?
Diesels only come with a turbo. Well, other than like generators, but
no, there's cars that have turbos.
No, I'm saying diesels all have turbos.
Diesels, yeah, diesels all have turbos. Yeah,
don't, but I mean, look at the H1 Hummer. I mean, it doesn't have a turbo, and you'd think it would.
Thought they had turbos.
Nope. It's got the Duramax, but no turbo. That's why those things are gutless as hell.
Which ones?
The H1 Hummer.
I never worked on them. I don't know too much about them.
I know
those things are gutless because they ain't got no turbos on it. But I mean, I understand why they don't, because I mean, look at the environment the Hummers are in. But at the same time, I mean, you would think you'd want the power to haul that, armor and stuff, but they don't.
Well, it's because they didn't update anything. They just slapped it on.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
I mean, they still move. It's just they don't move very fast.
Are they still torquey though?
They're actually pretty quick when they're not armored. I mean,
yeah. You got to remember the doors alone weigh a shit ton.
But
let me hit these comments real quick. Robert's blowing us up. Let me see. So yeah, let's put these lug nuts back on with the air impact, fully blasting cross thread. You got to have a feel for it if you're gonna do that.
Gotta put them on by hand first.
Studs and nuts all day. Yeah, if I feel like it's not going on, I'm not. Yeah, I touch the trigger, and if it spins on, then I'm going.
I think I've learned that mistake quite a bit. I think the worst one was when I cross-threaded a spark plug using an electric ratchet. That was definitely my fault. But I don't do that no more. I make sure they're in 3, 4, 5 threads, and then I run it and take it slow to the end because you don't want to crack a spark plug either.
Yeah.
When I did the spark plugs on my Frontier, luckily the only bolt I broke was I think it holds on. It's one of the bolts for the bracket that holds on the intake
by the power steering.
It's like on top, right? So you come from your air box and then it comes over and you have like 2 bolts. I guess if I remember right, that hold that bracket in, I broke one of them in half, and I'm like, yeah, fuck it. There's another one there. It'll stay in place.
Yeah, I know where you're talking about. where the air duct comes from the air,
kind of across the top. Yeah.
Okay, I know exactly what you're talking about. And they're under the beauty cover.
Yeah.
Because
then the cover like snaps on top of it. Yeah.
What's going on, Dave?
So
Give me
I'm not
a
the
minute.
only one. It sounds like you've done it
I'm trying
before
to set
too.
my camera up. I'm sorry, I was on a phone call. I'm just trying to set my camera up.
You're good. You're good. No, Sergio, I have not done that, but I've seen customers come in rattling and shit. Oh, I got a noise under the hood.
I didn't make any noise afterwards, but it's just
Forgot to set rings properly. Shitty job.
But like I didn't even like torque it down that hard. I was just like, all right, it's I got it figure tight, and then I like snugged it up, and the head just snapped off.
Yeah, that's fun.
You ever torque TCMs when you're doing that stuff, Fluff? You ever like when you got to put a valve body in and TCM, you torquing everything?
And torque is when your elbow clicks.
Nah, I have a setting on my impact. I use a very weak impact for that. So like it'll impact once, light trigger, and then I'm sending it. They don't hold a lot.
They gave me and my buddy. They hired us at the same time. We both worked at the old Chevy dealer. A Chevy dealer we both worked at. So we got hired at this one together. And they were like, "Hey man, can you guys put some TCMs in for us?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure, why not? Let me see." No, my buddy's like, "Hey man, do we gotta torque these and do?" I was like, "I don't know, man. Just read SI, bro, and just don't go ham on nothing, bro." Because my buddy was a tranny guy, and he would always tell me, if you ever do a TCM and it connects to the valve body, just make sure you torque it. You don't want to smash them together; that'll cause problems."
Yeah.
So
I do the torque sequence, or not the torque sequence, the torque sequence.
Oh, okay, yeah.
To prevent it from warping.
Yeah, for sure.
Robert, the 4.0, I was talking about the 4.0 for VQ engine that Nissan has.
It's like the best engine they ever made.
Oh, along with the 5.6. Actually, all of our engines are good, bro.
Yeah. I never had any issues with my Frontier.
All the Nissan engines are good.
That thing was strong enough to fucking haul a 30-foot toy hauler up the 10.
Yeah, them 4.0s are, dude. Okay, you know the older Pathfinders, right? It had the engine, rear-wheel drive, a V8, the VK56 in one of those little Pathfinders. I wish they would have put one in an Xterra.
There's a guy I know, like, because I was part of this Nissan off-road group.
Yeah,
he put, because you can do like Titan swaps on the Frontiers and stuff.
Yes,
this guy put a Titan engine in his Xterra.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Oh yeah.
I'm just like, all right, whatever, bro.
Dude, just in the Pathfinder, it's a little bigger than the Xterra. It scoots.
Well, like the Pathfinder is just a Frontier with no bed,
with the box and independent rear suspension.
Yeah, it doesn't have the solid axle.
That motherfucker scoots. Those are fun. I've seen 2 of them.
I was thinking before I got rid of it, I'm like, man, maybe I can LS swap this. And I was like looking it up, like, oh, somebody makes engine mounts and a cover for the an adapter thing for the transmission and shit.
Yep.
I'm like, you can really LS swap anything, can't you?
You can LS, well, basically a 302 of anything. You can pretty much swap.
Yeah.
You're gonna say, what are you gonna say, Kenny? Oh, you thought it was a Ford I was talking about? We took a job on an older 2002 Suzuki. Oh, changed the clutch on it. Had to reach. I'm getting. You couldn't find parts on it, right? I could not find matching pressure plate. Damn, that sucks. Was the original pressure plate damaged? Luckily, no. We use it as long as put new friction material. You should be okay. Just double check your preload. Damn, it worked. This was years ago. Y'all seen the new brake setup on 2020 Chevrolet Equinox? I have not. I have a 19.
I might have actually.
Anthony might know. Rear brakes.
What did he say?
The 2020 Equinox.
What's wrong with it?
Have y'all seen the new brake setup on the 2020 Equinox?
I believe they have electronic front brakes now.
Front brakes?
Yeah, I believe.
Chevy's been doing that for a while. I had to haul a 60,000-pound box truck because they were using electric brakes on that, and I think the engine wouldn't run or something like that. Well, when there was no electronics, the brakes wouldn't work, so they had no brakes at all and were stuck blocking traffic. And I grabbed my son's F-150 with a 4.6. I just hooked the tow rope up and I hauled that sucker off. And the guy's like, "You do realize this thing's fully loaded?" And I'm like, "I know you're blocking traffic, so let's just go." And I hauled that thing like it was nothing, but Chevy's been putting those electric brakes on them, and I think it's the
So what?
biggest.
There's no like master cylinder or brake line. Like it's just electronic.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Even
weird.
even the Audis are like that. The e-brakes electric. All the rear brakes are they're all electric. Yeah, the front brakes are hydraulic, but the rear is all electric. They're a
Do you
pain.
think?
They're a pain to do brake jobs because if you don't have the two-way controller for those to tell it to release the brakes,
Yeah.
you'll brick them.
Yeah.
So
Rear brakes got to disassemble the whole caliper from emergency brake disconnect sensor.
Yeah.
Because it's electric and it will blow out the color if you remove the pads without unplugging the. Oh God.
Yeah.
That's weird.
I remember getting one of those.
You think this should be in this guy's compressor?
Hell not. Wait, what compressor? The AC compressor?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Dude.
Get some RX-11, bro. Flush it till it comes out clear.
What the hell?
That's a Honda for you. Black
A
Death.
Honda.
Yep.
It's the Black Death of Honda.
Oh yeah. God.
I used to see that on Fords all the time.
Yeah, you don't have any oil. You don't have any oil return.
That is crazy. I didn't know there was turboless diesels.
I kind of regret taking
Oh,
this fucking
Just
apart now.
trigger have control. Yes, Robert.
Got a
Yes,
lot of turboless
definitely have
diesels.
experience with the whole lug nut thing.
Oh, I figured they almost all came with turbos except for like generators and shit.
That's crazy.
So Ford did a lot of the turbos on their like Escorts and stuff, especially in some of the other countries. And what people were doing is putting turbos and getting like 200 miles to the gallon. And so, like the EPA actually put a ban on them, saying that they were like fire hazards, but they're not.
I had a new tech guy, no experience, do a tune-up, and he literally cranked the plug so tight that they stripped the threads.
Oh hell no!
Do that on the 5.4 Tritons.
Those are the ones that always break. Dude, Robert, that is insane, bro.
Those are the 3-piece that they actually have the rental kit at AutoZone, so you could try to dig those things out, and then you have to rethread them and put the Healy coil. I mean, it's a whole kit.
How do you keep metal from getting into the cylinder?
We talk about on 5.3s or
4s?
5.4 3 valves.
Yeah, all those spark plugs are all the 3-piece that come apart.
Yeah. What about them?
These are garbage.
I do those all the time.
Yeah, I got one in my garage right now. I'm putting a crank in it. The crank will be here on Monday. Rebuilding that and putting it back in the truck. But I am super careful. I try to spray a little bit of WD-40 down in there. I say a prayer and then I go slow.
You know the secret behind those are?
Prayer.
Do it while it's hot.
Prayer.
No. Get as much shit as you can get out of your way while the vehicle can still run. Get all the coils loose. Like, take all the coil bolts out. Run that son of a bitch. Get it hot. I'm serious. This is anti what you've ever been told.
Never do plugs on a hot engine.
And you put your impact, you put your socket on it, and you use an impact.
No, thank you.
Dude, I've only broken like 2 in the last 3 years. And I
Dude,
probably
it is
done
so
about
crazy.
Thankfully, I
35
haven't
trucks.
broken a single one. Thankfully, I
And if
spray
they break, it ain't a big deal to me. I'm always able to get it out. So
Yeah, like Legs just said that right there, and take them out with a impact. What the?
Are you talking about on a
yep,
Ford, right?
take them out with impact,
Yeah.
nice and hot, and
On
then
a Ford?
put it back together. Run that son of a bitch, get it nice and hot.
You know,
Have the other side ready, and do the same damn thing.
you get enough experience with stuff. There is so much that mechanics have to go against books, and that's why it's so tricky when posting content on stuff on how to do so. Like
What's up, Frosty?
Hey,
there's times where
I gotta ask what that drink is.
there's times where
What drink?
Yours.
it's apple juice.
It's one that's going to make me a female.
Oh God,
It's a transgender drink.
That's
It's Bud Light.
is that what?
Everybody says, hey, I got rebates for this. 15 packs, $15 rebate.
Damn,
Beer's almost free, man.
what's going on, Frosty?
oh, they were selling it. What was it? I think it was like $5 for 2 30 packs or something like that here.
No, the torque sequence. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 foot pounds, inch pounds. We do inch pounds on the broad bodies. Well, it's like 8 or 9 inch pounds. So it's like
Not mine. Now you do it Chinese torque spec. You good and
Like
tight.
100. I think on the one I did is like 170 inch pounds or some shit like that.
I know
usually like 100, like
pounds.
they're either like
9
89 to 110 inch pounds usually.
Yeah,
Hey,
it's not much.
On that plastic shit, it's usually 89 to like 110 inch pounds, 112 inch
I
pounds.
could get on the Infinium. I could do maybe 2 or 3 impacts. Just prat. It's good. Prat. Good.
No, you're supposed to say click.
Click.
Oh,
Yeah.
Click.
barely. Click.
Click. Click.
My-
Where the hammer barely skips.
my
Nano.
Hercules ratchet
Nano. Whatever.
is perfect for the bolts on the 5.4s. It
insane.
actually torques them right to spec.
On which one?
My Hercules ratchet, it is the exact torque spec for the bolts on the front of the 5.4. So I can just go all the way down and just all the way through the whole thing, and as long as I don't try to go too crazy with it, every bolt will be right on.
I mean, see, that's when we learn our tools, and that's where the average general viewer doesn't understand. Technicians, when we use our tools, we know our limits with our tools.
Yep.
When it comes to power tools, we have a feel for it. It's like our sixth sense.
Yep.
And then when that tool takes a shit and it can't get repaired, then we have to relearn another tool and learn that limits. And what
Yep.
sucks is when you rebuy a tool, it's normally updated with more power.
Yep.
So you have to, it gets a little sketchy, but we end up making sure that we get shit done right.
My
Yummy
3/8
8 milkshakes, yeah.
my 3/8 earthquake will torque lug nuts right to about 85 foot-pounds, perfect every time. And then the half inch will, if I watch the nut, as soon as the nut grabs, 2 hammers past is 90 foot-pounds. And some of those guys used to tell me, no, you're not doing it right, you're not torquing it. And I said, let me do mine. Get your torque wrench out and measure what they're at. And I was dead on every time. It's like
I still torque all wheels by hand. It's
I
a
just use the equipment.
policy at my company. We have
Peter,
to
I sent you
torque
a-
and sign off.
An invite. Really?
Never trust the impact. Not on a wheel.
Oh, I love the guys that, I used a torque stick.
Torque sticks are pretty accurate on a steel
They
wheel.
are. They're not bad.
Not on aluminum.
Wait. It depends on the power of your gun.
Yeah, if the gun ain't working right,
And,
you're
and
fucked.
then
And it
and
don't
then
work on
you have
electric. It don't work on cordless.
yeah, that's what they use. These new kids.
Torque sticks are not designed for cordless tools.
No, they need to be used on. I mean, I've used one on a
They're
3/4.
designed on pneumatic tools only.
Yeah,
Not only that, but just because so they'll get like 1 or 2 impacts. and think it's good enough. No, you got to stand on it for a second.
No, the way a cordless impact works is totally different than a
Oh, yeah.
pneumatic impact.
Totally different.
Torque stick is spring steel, and torque sticks do wear out, by the way, too. The torque stick is spring steel. It twists so much, and they design the metal to twist at 100 foot-pounds, which means it stops tightening.
Yeah.
Right.
But a cordless impact,
Short bursts.
a pneumatic impact, when you hit the gun, pull the trigger on full strength, delivers all power right now.
Yeah.
Electric cordless impacts build up their torque over time.
Right.
The longer you're hammering at it, and it's just torque sticks don't work with them.
I don't like torque sticks. They made us buy some, and I was like, these are silly. Get them out of my face.
They're
Just
not
like
bad
once or
with
twice.
air impacts, but don't do them with anything else.
I actually have the Ford repair kit for thread repair. I love the 5.4 and those plugs. Those are my bread and butter. Depending on the make. Legs, I sent you an email also if you want to come through. Depending on the make of the car, there is a service mode. You can put the car into service, the rear brakes. Otherwise, you use battery to manually set the brakes.
So you can't always use the
Ford.
battery for
That's what's up, Robert.
manual. Sometimes if you, like on the Audis, if you open them up,
There you go.
it screws up everything. You've got to go through the device, and I don't have it. So, like for personal, anyways, I've used it for everything else, but not personal. I ordered one that'll be in tomorrow, and I hope that it's going to open up those calipers, because if you don't,
What did you order?
A new. I don't remember if it was Top Down or what. Tool, so it was the bi-directional tool, so I could try to open up those brake calipers.
You mean retract the pistons? Retract the parking brake?
You have to open or close them and calibrate them.
Yep. Use air to blow out the metal that falls.
I'll be honest with you. Launch makes a couple scan tools. So does Top Down. They're basically the same thing. Top Down, Launch.
No, it was Launch that I ordered.
And Think Tool, they all make a lower price scanner that usually has that ability.
Yeah, Launch is the one I ordered. That's the one.
What was it? Do you remember?
I can look real quick.
Was the
Launch is the king company of Top Down, Think Car, and all that. They're all the same.
I have the 123, which is it's nice. I have the Think Car, the little dongle. That one's nice.
Does that one do the brakes?
Yeah.
I think that's the one I ordered.
How much was it?
Like 100.
Okay, yeah.
Read Lake's comment too. He's absolutely correct. But if you do what Lake's is saying, you must also unplug the electrical connection.
Uh-oh.
Getting pulled over.
Not even driving a Cobalt.
Not for me.
Ooh, that sounded like a warning.
Yeah, he was after somebody on the other side, didn't want to slow down. Following him from Figueroa.
Also, 45 gear motors come with not turbo, depending on what it was. So, like light tires and some gen sets.
Yeah, light tire is basically just a generator.
Oh, new job. Have you started, Frosty?
Yeah, I'm kind of in between right now. I'm still working the old job. That's where I'm leaving, and I'm doing mornings at the new one. But they're like chomping at the bit, you know. The guy's about to say shit or get off the pot. So I'm going to have to go over there next week and start pulling some 8-hour shifts, which is fine with me. It's just trying to break away from the plant it's a tough thing to do.
Yeah.
You know, all of a sudden I'm like essential and they need me really bad, you know.
Didn't you tell them, where's my paycheck?
No, I'm past that. You know, I got to rip the Band-Aid off.
torque.
But
Whatever you're making now, multiply it by 2.3875 and tell them that's what you want to stick.
All right, Robert. Thank you for coming through. Hey, there for a minute, you was killing it on the comments. Appreciate
it's
you.
not a bad idea. But no, if I stay, it's just going to be more of the
I
same.
don't
I
think-
mean, there's no amount of money that would change my mind at this point. Not because I hate anybody or I'm pissed or anything like that. It's just I have no life.
Right?
I'll pay you $5 million a year if you do what I ask you to do.
All right.
See, I just changed your mind. So don't tell me no amount of money that won't change your mind.
Shop policy is all wheel lugs will be torqued by hand. You will be walked out. Normally that happens because there was either a big lawsuit against the company or it's happened too often.
So one of the apprentices I had at my last company, he used to be a mechanic.
That's crazy.
He worked at Toyota. He said they were having a big meeting about making sure that they torque all the lug nuts on tires. Fucking as soon as they're having that meeting, a truck that he just sent back out for changing the tires came back with no fucking tires on it because they all fell off.
Oh no.
Well,
I mean, that's not funny. That's not funny.
It's funny, but it's
the irony.
It's not funny, but it's kind of funny. But he's just like he said he just went, all right, so I just go get my stuff and leave.
I used to work for them too. This makes me laugh. I have a corporate-owned Firestone, Firestone Complete Auto Care location.
Yeah.
That's not too far from where I work, and they have their whole procedure on torquing wheels, and they make everybody tighten the wheels with 55-foot pre-runners, 55-foot torque sticks. And then they're supposed to lower the car, kiss the wheels on the ground, just touch them, and then go and hand torque them in a star pattern sequence to spec. Like a year ago, every damn time you turn around, they had an account with this company that had dualies and shit. Every damn time you turn around, the rear wheels falling off these fucking things, or coming off, or coming loose. I'd be like, who worked on this last? Like, Firestone did. And I just like, I know these guys. I worked with the company for too many years. I called down there and I'm like, on dualies, 55 foot-pounds is not enough to slam everything back in place. I said, just take your impact, go bam, 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 bam in a sequence. I said, then you want to kiss the shit down, then torque them. I said, otherwise you do Chinese torque spec, real good and real tight.
Mm-hmm.
I said, you won't be losing wheels no more. Ever since they started listening to me, I haven't seen one come in yet.
Well, I think they're 120 or 140 pounds anyway, aren't they?
On the Fords, I think they're 150 or 155.
I've actually seen
Some of the 14-15s.
Yeah, 14-15s. They're huge.
Mm-hmm.
Bigger than a 460 head bolt. And
I think they're 150 foot-pounds is torque spec.
Yeah. We
That's
had...
a lot.
But you got two dually rear wheels with 10-ply tires on it, steel wheels, and you're trying to slam it and hope it all mates and does everything well. With 55 foot-pounds, that just ain't enough.
Dude, when I was younger, when I worked at Discount Tire, oh God, we had to do the star pattern and then torque it in a circle. And I hated fucking getting dualies. Oh my God. Looking at 16, right? No, 8 technically torquing 8 fucking wheels. That shit sucked.
Well, no, they're stacked, so one set of studs does 2 wheels. But
What I mean,
pounds,
we had to double it up.
55 pounds isn't even enough to line everything up and settle it in.
Yeah.
Nope.
We had to hit each wheel twice with the torque wrench.
I can imagine the 55s on a semi.
Oh,
50, that wouldn't even.
No, that'd be a joke, man.
Yeah, I don't know if you saw that. I had
So
that
what?
video
Like
of the
so
semi
so
going
there.
in.
So the policy was what? Okay, you start it with that, and then you go around and retorque everything.
Yeah, you ran them up while a vehicle was off the ground with 55
Right.
foot-pound torque stick.
And then you
Torque stick
brought
on
it down,
impact. You brought down the wheels,
and then
kissed
you
the
would.
ground, and then you hand torque it all.
See, and I've also seen people. Oh, this gets me.
But
They'll
if
use
you have
torque
the way that truck,
with
and
the
you
whole
hand
weight
torque,
of the
all you're
vehicle.
doing is stretching lug nuts if it hasn't seated.
Right.
Yeah,
You will get that torque wrench
it
to click.
doesn't seat
You
very
will
well.
get that torque wrench to click because the damn vehicle's so heavy. It's sitting on the studs. It'll click, but it doesn't mean
Mhm.
everything's seated.
Yep. That steel lug nut on a steel wheel doesn't at that weight doesn't move.
Yep.
You got to torque it while it's in the air on those.
Not only
Yeah,
that,
I'd say
150 pounds.
you take a good impact, eight lugs, good and tight.
You got enough.
14 mil stud, good and tight. If you want to double check yourself and you drop it down on the ground, go ahead, hand torque it. But
Yeah. Good
I
impact.
say good and tight. You got 8 lugs good and tight, it ain't coming
Hey,
off.
you can also take the motor off and then screw piston back. Lakes, have you done that on a Nissan? They told us never to do that because the seal gets damaged and they're like not serviceable or some shit like that. I don't know. They told us we'll ruin it, that we'd have to replace it if we ever took it apart.
You know, I
They
can
also
tell
tell you
that,
to take and clean the throttle by wiping it out, not spraying it out.
I can tell you that having a whole bunch of brand new Ford dualies come through the plant, I think 5 of them. Every one of them, within about 3 weeks, you'd get a weird noise, a weird vibration coming from the back. And it was always the hubcaps rubbing on the rim and the tire because the back wheels were coming loose. Every one of them, from
Here it is, Alejandro.
13,
The
a
link.
14, 2 15s, an 18, all of them, the wheels came loose. Brand new from the factory.
Well, those are California Fords.
Oh, that's right. That's
Yeah.
right.
Galvin Newsom don't like those things.
Truck
No,
gonna
it
They're
doesn't.
not electric.
Now, we don't build anything in California. They came from somewhere.
For what?
Yeah,
They got trucked in from somewhere, all put together.
but they had them loosen the lug nuts before they got to California, so they come loose.
That's true. Maybe Newsom likes to fondle all the nuts before they get sold. You know, has to break them in.
There's a lot of politicians like to fondle the nuts beforehand.
when you own a shop,
True.
your mentality is always different from an employee. Owner will always put out good work. That's not always true. Some of the most shoddy people are the most successful because they know how to
Yeah.
bullshit their way to the
How
top.
many cheap shop owners are out there? You know, fucking
All
what
of
is
them.
the word? Micromanaging their techs to make sure they don't spend too much time or
Not only
waste too
that,
much.
sometimes the people that are put in these positions know nothing about what it takes to be so.
Well, I left
They
a
have the
job.
money in them.
I left a job after being at a job for like 3 weeks because the micromanagement that went on. My tool dealer showed up. I went out to the truck, and next thing you know, my boss is on the truck bitching. He's like, I need you on this car. Customer's fucking waiting. I was like, dude, I've been on here for like 2 minutes. I need you on this car. And I just turned to him. I said, you know what? My toolbox has got wheels for a reason. I said, so consider my day done. Go fuck yourself.
Definitely work
I
out.
said straight up to him like that. Go fuck yourself. I said, these tools at my expense are what make you the money, and you're being a dick, and I'm not taking it anymore. So I got off the tool truck, and he thought I was joking. So I started putting all my shit in my toolbox, started rolling it. So where the hell are you going? I said, I'm going to wait for my tow truck. He said, are you serious? I said, dead serious. I said, you're an asshole, and I'm leaving. You can't afford to leave me. Oh, bye. That's exactly what I said to him. Bye.
Apparently, you can't afford to keep me either.
Now the new guys, the new
No
shop
problem,
I work
Alejandro.
for is awesome.
What
They're
we doing,
awesome.
Sardi?
The new people I work for are awesome facility. We are top notch.
How long you been there?
At the new one,
Yeah,
6.5 years.
not bad. I want to. What's the worst mistake you've ever done?
Like backtracking.
Either backtracking or something that you had to. Hey, boss, I kind of fucked up. Ooh.
I don't know. It gets tough. I mean, I broke a windshield a couple of times
Oh God.
with impact swivel that broke on me, and of course
Oh.
it hit the windshield.
Oh.
When it comes to backtracking, probably be dash work, like evap heater cord, and all of a sudden I'm putting this back together, put that back together, and like, son of a bitch, I got to pull all this apart just to connect this one damn thing. I forgot to connect this one damn thing, and I just tried my ass off. Could not get my hands in there.
Did you hear what I got to backtrack on tomorrow?
Yeah, the front cover.
The complete job.
Yes.
Ooh.
Yeah, I've had my mistakes. I mean, I had a gas tank fall the hell out of a truck on me before.
Oh, that sounds fun.
You know,
Trying to think what's something I've had to like backtrack on.
I had to do a timing job 3 times over, just because the shop foreman gave me the wrong tool for locking out the crank on that. That was at the EcoSport or whatever the hell it was, or something to that effect. And that lockout tool for the crank, he kept telling me it was the small one. I'm like, it ain't the small one. He's like, no, I'm telling you, it's the small one. So I used the one that I thought was the correct one, and he came back and was like, no, you got this screwed up because, what it was is, I got it all together. Everything was perfect except the battery light came on. And I told them it needed a battery before I ever even did the job. And they're like, no, a battery light will never go off if a bad battery. It only goes off if there's a bad alternator. Like, that's not true. It actually has a sensor for the battery. You either calibrate the battery for the ECM, or you need to replace
on a newer Ford, the battery light will only come on if there's a charging system fault.
Not with the ones that have the battery management system.
Yeah, those the smart charge system.
If the battery is already at failing point,
only if it's auxiliary battery on a stop-start system will the battery light come on.
The battery was so my equipment said it failed. The shop equipment said,
are you talking like a 1.6 liter that has no
it was
the Genius design that has no keyway on the crank pulley?
Yeah, but it was a 2.3, I think it was, but it had that no keyway on it. But the battery, my equipment said the battery was bad. The shop equipment said the battery passed, so I wrote it up that way. My equipment says the battery's bad. Your equipment says it passed. It's your decision. Well, when we ended up doing the timing stuff, of course you have to disconnect the battery. Well, when I reset the ECM after the timing job, it assumes it's a new battery. Well, when the battery's not taking a charge, it sets off the light because you're trying to force a charge into something that can't accept the charge. So you're going to get a battery light. Well, I told them that, and they're like, no, it's not the battery. It's because you did the timing job wrong. And I said, look, I'm telling you it's the battery. Well, they made me do the whole timing job all over again, use that other tool that we weren't supposed to use. That was the wrong one. But then the timing was off. Well, I put a battery in it. The battery light went off, but then I kept getting the crank sensor was out warning. And we kept trying to go through it. And so they made me do the whole thing over again. And I kept telling them, I'm telling you, that tool I used the first time is the right one. And so we ordered another tool, and what was it? It was the right tool that I had. And so I had to do the timing job all over again, tear the whole thing completely apart. They wanted me to take everything completely out and have one of the other guys follow all my steps. And he's like, why? I watched him do it the first time. And they said, nope, he's got to undo everything, take the belt out, take it all out, do it all from scratch.
I would have been like,
So
done out of
Yeah.
here.
Ford / Mazda did a genius design on a couple of 4-cylinder engines. There's no keyway on the crank.
this
So
was
if you
a
loosen up the
That's
crank
not good.
bolt,
Right.
if you loosen up the crank bolt, you just fuck the timing on the engine.
that's the way this was the 3.0
The
V6.
timing is held in place with pure freaking prayer of 200 plus foot-pounds of torque in the crank bolt. I forget what the spec is.
Even the cams.
It's like 100 camshafts too. It's like 120 some foot-pounds and an additional so many degrees.
Yep.
And I'm telling you, when you start to push that degree mark, you're like it feeling like it's going to snap. It's just pure pressure holds all those gears in place.
Is it tapered? Is that crank snout tapered?
No, it's straight, man. It's stupid. No keyway, no nothing. It's
Yep.
held by pure pressure. There's actually a tool to line the crank pulley up because there's a little window in the crank pulley for the crank sensor. So there's a special tool. You remove the crank sensor, you put the
Yep. And you have to
tool
put
in
that
there, and you got to line it right up in the window and lock it down right there in place with everything else perfect, or your foobar.
Yeah, if you so much as loosen that bolt at all, you're screwed because you got to
Yeah, you're
have
screwed.
the crank sensor has actually like it's on the back of the harmonic balancer. So you
Yeah,
have
there's one little window.
like a hook thing that kind of pulls
Yeah.
into that tone wheel and it locks with the crank sensor. So you got to make sure you do not under any circumstance like loosen that bolt at all until it's locked in place. Then you have that pin that you're supposed to take out the back. There's a little like screw. You take it out.
Well, if you have the proper kit, you're also supposed to remove the starter and lock the flywheel.
Yep. You
Once
got
they're all
to.
in place.
Yep. You have a tool for that. You take the starter out, and then you put that tool in, lock it in, and then when you have everything locked and you got that pin in place, then you got to turn it until it touches the pin so that it's at top dead center locked, and then you just got to have your buddy or somebody hold it, and then you zip that bolt off and just hope and pray that nothing moves. And then you just you pull that belt off, you put it back on, and you got to have somebody with some Gorilla, vice grips or something, some of those ginormous ones, kind of hold it, and you got to pray that you get it tight before that thing spins. Because you'll bend that lockout key, you'll bend it if you crank it. So it's a nightmare putting those things together.
Alejandro, I was doing a 2017 Rogue front timing cover reseal because it was leaking, and that involves removing the engine. But before you remove the engine, you got to take off the lower oil pan, upper oil pan. There's some internal bolts on there, and also on the front timing cover. Well, when I was editing one of the shorts when I got home today, I realized I only siliconed around one of the bolt holes, and the second one I realized I fucked up and I went inside versus outside. So I got to do it all over again just to reseal one little thing. So why that's important is because if I leave it the way it is, oil will go, it'll seep past the bolt head through the threads and out the timing cover. And I mean, I could wing it and just say,
"Oh, just put some stop leak in it and send it on its way." Come on, now. Lakes has got it down. Lakes has about 240 foot-pounds on the crank bolt, and the job is not that hard.
Huh?
It's not. It's easy. It's just a lot of if you get.
I'd be honest with you, I don't lock the flywheel anymore.
The way they said,
I take my air cat with 150 psi behind it on full blast. I kind of hold the crank pulley with my hand, and I just go, bam, and everything's been fine. I've never had one come back.
It's more intimidating than anything, which I believe. When you do stuff the first time, it's intimidating, and I want to have a stream on intimidating jobs. Probably the next stream or so. Oh, we'll save that for a panel discussion next time.
Oh,
Intimidating jobs would be like the hooker you hired in Vegas when you were
Whoa!
trash.
Put up the box and go. Yeah. Once John, once you got done with that
And
third
she
That would
time,
hit a little close to home,
you
Dave.
found out it was a he. Oh shit!
Oh, it wasn't that bad, but
the crankshaft has a diamond washer. It's about 240 foot-pounds. A top spec with the degree in, and it checked. Oh, nice.
but I'm sure like Fluff, like you've been doing this. What you've been doing this? What 8 years?
11.
11. So I've been in my trade for 8 years. There's still jobs that it's like, dude, I need somebody who's been doing this longer before I even attempt it.
I don't get. I don't
The
get
guy
it.
that's been doing it way longer than
by
you,
much.
Sergio, is gonna sit back, sit down,
Yeah,
have a cigarette, and be like,
no, that's
Okay,
basically
you
what
know-
it is. Like
I ain't
well,
gonna
before my
bullshit you. This
before my-
isn't good.
before my
You know what
foreman became the
intimidates
service
me the
manager,
most? You know what intimidates me the most? I don't know if y'all can vouch for this, but when you've worked on similar jobs before, knowing what's gonna go wrong. So, like on this valve covers that I did the other day on a 3.3 Frontier or Xterra, some shit like that.
That's the old ones.
Oh my god, yes. Oh, I knew connectors were gonna break. I knew certain things were gonna happen, and that's exactly what freaking happened.
you know
I just
what?
recommend this stuff, hoping they're not gonna buy it.
Go
'cause
work
it's
for a
another-
Volvo dealer or an Audi dealer.
Dude.
Anytime you got to remove anything off the valve cover of the intake, you know all that plastic bullshit they put on there is all gonna fucking crack and break.
That
Dude,
does
No matter
remind-
what climate you're in, everything
Like
goes from
5 or
hot to
6
cold.
foot.
Everything goes from hot to cold under the hood of a car. So it don't
Yep.
matter if you're in California, if you're in Michigan, and New York.
Oh yeah,
That shit all gets brittle as hell, and it's all plastic crap. And the minute you start trying to disconnect anything on these Audis and BWs, it all just starts breaking.
So that's what intimidates me is just knowing what's gonna go wrong.
So you just got to know ahead of time. You sell it
It's
all.
just it's about how much of it's gonna go wrong, not whether it is or isn't.
yeah.
I price it and sell it all. If I don't have to do it, then I take it off their bill.
So one of the things that
So you
this
you
made me
give
remember
throwaway prices. Go away. Why?
this one reminds me of the Jeep Penistars, the Jeep Wrangler Penistars. That was one that I had a big mistake on. I thought a guy had a valve cover leak, and so
It was oil,
the whole valve
it was
covers,
oil cooler
both
issue, right?
sides. Yeah, it was the oil cooler. So, well, when we did the valve covers, I did find that he had rockers that were going bad, and so it turned into this huge job. We get it all back to him. He drives it down the road, and he's like, "Hey, man, this thing's overheated. It just blew antifreeze everywhere." Well, it turned out that oil cooler was leaking antifreeze also. So it was sucking air in, and it was basically just blowing all the antifreeze out, and then it blew oil everywhere. And so I had to basically do the whole thing all over again. And then I had to go in and replace that oil cooler, which we couldn't get because they were on back order.
Oh, those are always on back order. You know why they're on national back order
Because it's
at all
crap.
times? Because they're still using the same piece of shit part that keeps failing.
Exactly. Yep.
They're using the same piece of shit part that's been failing since they ever designed that motor. And they claim they've updated it. They claim they've upgraded it.
No, they didn't. They didn't do nothing.
Hey,
It's the same damn thing. But that's the one that
he says they have, and he laughs and makes a little smirking joke about it too.
Oh,
JT, man, our boy
Oh, I
JT.
know. He goes and talks about those motors that they're not
Is it
that
one
bad.
mechanic? Is it
All
one
day.
mechanic? Huh?
I
Online
said
mechanic.
OEM all day.
Yeah, he
Online
sits there and
mechanic
talks
tips?
about those, and that they're real good
Yeah.
motors. But I've seen
He laughs and jokes about the fact that this is supposedly updated. He does a little hey thing. Because he knows he sees the damn things fail all the time.
I've replaced so many cams on those. It's unbelievable. I mean, you can't find the cams around here because
I hardly ever have to replace the cam.
Oh, I replaced it.
Unless the person drove the damn thing while it was going tick 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 tick. I mean, like really bad.
Those cams get torn up, or if somebody doesn't know what they're doing and they
But
sit them on
just the
metal
outer
deck.
edge. If it's just the outer edges of the cam that got tore up, you don't have to change the cam.
No, but the rollers on those rockers go bad, and those cams are toast.
I've changed a ton of the rocker arms without changing the cams. I gave the customer the option. Now, if it's a warranty company or something, it's getting a camshaft.
Oh, hell yeah.
It's getting a camshaft. But if I look at it, just the very edges where that rocker was hitting it on the very edges of the cam lobe and not hitting the center or screwing up the center a little bit all where the actual roller rides, and it's customer pay, I tell them, my personal opinion, I think it'd be just totally fine.
I might even still have a set down in the garage that there's no lobes. It's just round because those things get tore up.
Holy shit!
It's just round.
Yep.
Like,
you actually worked on that motor and shipped it.
No, hell no.
No, I think you say he pulled out the cams and found them already round, right?
I've got the cam. I still have the
cam.
cam.
What'd you do with the motor?
I sold him a motor because
I was gonna say at that point you need a motor.
Yeah,
a window motor.
No, the whole
engine. The whole engine.
Oh, an engine. Oh,
motor swap.
If you ate a cam to where the lobe is totally gone, you need a motor.
You probably need a whole. You can't even rebuild that engine.
Nope.
You don't even know where that metal went.
So
exactly.
You probably look at the cylinders and they're probably all scored up.
Yeah. No, I've done quite a few of those actually. They come in, I pull that valve cover. As soon as I see that, I'm like,
JWC. I fucked up on that one. I didn't put I didn't put silicone in the right position. I went inside the bolt hole versus outside the bolt hole. These are internal bolts.
I'm surprised they'll just don't have gaskets.
Nah.
No, they're getting away from gaskets, man.
Yeah.
Everything's going with this silicone shit, which I mean, there's nothing wrong with it if you do it right.
Damn.
I'll tell you, this new
I think that
this
leaves too much.
They got like fucking cement, man.
But I think leaving it up to having somebody silicone it is like,
what's up,
especially
Bill?
at like the dealer level or like the manufacturer level, whatever you want to call it, is it's kind of like leaving you open to a lot of issues.
I've been trained on this, and we actually had this discussion a while back about the silicone with the different types of surfaces, whether you have a shiny glassy surface or you have a etched surface. And the reason why like Ford really went with silicone is the different surfaces as they expand at different rates. If you're using a gasket, it's going to wear out that gasket faster than silicone. Silicone can stretch without breaking. It's not about gluing it on and holding it in place. It's about allowing the surfaces to actually separate and stay sealed.
But let's be honest, like Fluff, I'll tell you, Fluff, that gray shit you get from Nissan, how strong is that shit?
Oh well, yeah.
I get nervous.
That shit's strong, man.
I've bent covers.
That's literally like you could. I'm telling you, you could probably if an oil pan was put on a Nissan, say Versa, with that shit, and it's been on there for like a year, you could probably take all the oil pan bolts out,
and it'll last,
and drive the car around for the next year, and it won't even leak.
See, the only reason I ask why you guys don't use gaskets because, like, for us, almost everything is a gasket. Like, there's almost nothing.
Well, everything
that
we would just gaskets. S automotive engineers. I'm not an engineer.
It's just I don't know. It just seems weird to me.
Everything used to be gaskets.
Frosty knows, like you have a recip compressor. Every sealed surface has a gasket. It has its own gasket for that, valve cover or oil pump seal or whatever. Everything has its own gasket.
Everything's either got
it has to do with the way that the metals expand. It's only on things like when you have a timing cover that mounts to a block where the block is superheated but doesn't expand as much because it's a solid block, whereas your timing covers are real thin metal. When you're looking at stuff like if you check,
but on a big recip, you have parts of your compressor are two completely different temperatures, right? So you
Right.
have your motor and your crankcase are like cold, like, and I'm talking cold. Like it can be either like below freezing, and
Right.
then you have your discharge, which is like 100-something degrees
Yeah.
What kind of materials? What
or
kind of
more.
materials
Yeah,
are most of your gaskets that you're talking about?
they're
Well,
like a fiber, like it's called like fiber, like a fiber gasket, right? I forget what
Yeah.
it's actually made out of.
Well, they're the same as you'd use on a car. I mean, some of them
Yeah.
are paper, some of them are
Yeah.
graphite. I mean, they're Victor Wren's gaskets. You know, same thing the factory would use.
Same shit.
Same shit. Same
it's just what's cheaper.
I mean, you're not using multi-layer steel and all this stuff, but
No.
it's rubber / fiber.
It's not even
almost.
rubber. It's like a. If you were to touch it, it feels like cardboard.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
paper, paper gasket. Just cardboard paper gasket.
I was thinking maybe phenolic, like
No,
plastic type.
no. Think
Well, you're talking about HVAC though, too. You cannot have the chance of contaminants getting in and plugging anything. So the use of RTV, you could take the chance of somebody not using it properly, putting too much on, and when you bolt the shit together, shit squeezes out, and when you start the
What-
system up, you circulate it through the system, and
Like I said earlier, man, that
like
RTV
if
can
a
stay
tech uses too much RTV, it ends up in the bottom of the oil pan or somewhere in the cooling system, and the cooling system is very large, and so is the oiling system.
Right.
You most likely aren't going to clog a damn thing on an automotive car.
Uh.
If you overuse I mean, you'd have to like seriously overuse the RTV to clog something up.
And on a vacuumed line,
the one more
RTV is not going to
It's not
dry.
good, Bernard.
Whereas,
Cut in my
in
hair.
an engine, you've
That's
got
what's
oxygen that dries it.
How's it going, Bill?
I think
Dave.
honestly, I think they've wanted to get rid of gaskets for years and years. The problem is, up until now, they couldn't make two parts the same. Now
Right. Or until fairly recently, yeah.
they're knocking shit out on CNC machines, and the tolerances are so tight. I mean, we never used to run motors as tight as they're coming out of the factory now. I mean, look at the new Fords.
Outside of
You're using
outside of like race car engines or something.
race car engines, you run loose.
Really? Okay.
This is the opposite. I mean, you got to run 5W20 oil, or else they pump oil.
Or even zero weight.
Right.
Think of your old 5-liter Ford or your 460s, even your 390s. You got an aluminum front cover bolted to the front of an iron block, and the oil pan kind of bridges both of them. And no two were ever the same. The way they fit, it was never a smooth straight line. You'd always have a step there. It was, especially if you were changing a timing cover in the car, you couldn't really get under there and align everything. So you'd have a nice thick cork gasket and some glue to take up that little space there.
Mm.
Same thing with a Chevrolet.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about now.
Or you got that lip seal in the front, and then you've got that space where the edges of the front cover actually have the front oil pan bolts in them. You'd have that gap, the ends of the intake manifold. Nobody ever used those cork gaskets that go on the China walls. You always build that with silicone. That was the only way to make sure it wasn't going to leak. But
So JWC, you thought I did this part for the algorithm right here? So this is actually inside another cover. So this bolt doesn't have to be sealed on the inside, it seals on the outside. But where I made the mistake was over here. This is another internal bolt right there. And I went inside, versus outside. I was supposed to come around on the outside. So I've already got this engine sealed up all the way, and it's in the vehicle. I just haven't put the subframe, axles, compressor on, nothing. I got everything sealed up, and then I went off to do another job. But as I was editing this video, I was like, wait, I went on the inside on the second bolt because I knew I had 2 internal bolts. And if it wasn't for me editing this, I would have never caught it. So now I got to backtrack the whole job and do the whole job all over again. 'Cause not only did I
So
do
you
it
got
on the
you have to
cover,
scrape
I did
off
it on
all
the
that. Sorry.
He'll
No,
probably
I'm
have to wipe it off.
yeah,
Probably
'cause
hasn't
it's
even,
still gonna be wet
it probably doesn't
tomorrow.
even know it dried up yet.
Nope. That's the nice thing about silicone. It could be weeks later and it'll still be wet.
Fix that.
The new shit, the gray shit, takes a while to totally harden.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's why I love it though.
I don't know. That stuff I like is that the right stuff. You ever use that?
That's what I have.
Oh, I love
But
that.
see, I don't know who makes our silicone because I know Honda has the same. We have the same. I've seen JT's.
Chrysler has
Probably
the same.
like
Yeah.
Permatex.
Ford has the same.
Is
GM
it-
uses the same.
But if you buy the gray silicone from Permatex, the one that's in that metal tube,
It's different.
it's very
But
different.
it's still probably made by Permatex. It's just
Oh,
no, I
No,
wish
it's
I could
different.
come off the top of my tongue with the company that makes it.
yeah,
I
but
know-
I mean,
We have
like
the
those
product
companies will
from the
make
company.
whatever like Nissan specs out.
you know who had it first? Yamaha. They called it Yamabond, and it was the greatest
Oh my
shit
God.
ever. Yamaha used it in between the crankcase halves and at the base of the cylinder banks. Greatest shit ever. It was called. They called it Yamabond. And
When
then
that stuff sets, it is fucking nice.
yeah,
Well, the company that makes it is called something Bond. I'm trying to remember the name of the company.
Quick
Maybe
bond.
Sure Bond.
no, it's something else. But Yamaha used to use it, and they'd label it Yamabond.
I mean, Permatex makes a product that's very close to it.
I tell you what though, it is scary when you're trying to take those covers off, the front covers, because you're getting flex.
Well,
You only have
now you're
certain
wondering if
areas.
it's a silicone or did you miss a bolt?
Yes.
I mean, you've never missed a bolt, right?
Yeah, you don't want to crack that front cover. So you
What are you
keep
talking
looking
about?
down. Did I
What are
miss
you talking
any
about,
bolt
Sergio?
anywhere?
What do you? Were you in a certain conversation?
I may have been.
Oh, okay, yeah. No, I've never missed a bolt. But
You never missed a bolt.
on this
Bullshit.
one, on this one, Dave,
Alarm. Bullshit.
I broke an ear off on this cover.
Oh no!
Fluff.
So-
Everybody's missed a bolt or two.
No, I everything was off, right? And I go to pry. You know how they have like spaces
Yeah.
for you to pry on? Okay, it was just that freaking ear that broke off. Nothing on the actual like where it seals or anything. It was just a small tab that fucking broke. I was like, oh, that was one of my pry points. It just snapped off. I was
Oh,
like,
it has like they have like little ears where you're supposed to pry at.
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh.
And that little ear just snapped off. I was like, you got to be fucking.
So you're
Well, at least it wasn't one of the ears for the bolts.
Sold the customer a new front cover for $450 and said, "Hey, it had a
No.
broken ear." Or you
No,
put that bits right back on once you got it
That's
off.
not why I replaced the cover. We'll talk about that in a little bit. Anyways, get through these last two. Used to cut my own
Yeah, I remember you telling me the
Oh,
story
good.
about that.
when I was young.
You
And
see
finally
'em-
decided why not.
Do you see him
Ford
get
makes
eaten up
all that
like
Ooh.
trollers? You see the covers getting eaten up around the water passages and stuff.
Ford makes an aerosol that melts RTV. What's that called? That I could use something like that
I
sometime.
forgot what it's called.
Master
Ford
Maker?
does make it, but Permatex makes it too.
Yeah.
Brake
But-
fluid in a spray.
All right, guys.
can.
I'm gonna shut the stream down. I'm gonna talk to these guys backstage for a little
I
bit.
forget what it's called. They do
So
make
if you're
a
still
they do make
here-
a spray that eats most RTVs.
I appreciate y'all. Appreciate all the likes, comments, and we will talk to y'all again on Tuesday, hopefully. So yeah,
What happened?
if y'all want to stick around for a little bit, go ahead and do so. But the stream is done. All
I
right.
get to dance for a minute.
Hey, yeah. All right, guys.
I'll
Chat,
be out of
we'll
breath
talk to
when I
y'all
get
later.
back.
Y'all have a good weekend.
Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 yo, go, go, go. Hustle hard, hustle every single day. I'll be making moves till I'm buried in my grave. To the system, I don't wanna be a slave. I've been doing shit my way, or the highway. And in the driveway is a nice range. Cause I grind through the climb, I invite pain. You'll never hear me, bitch, nah, I don't complain. Just gotta flip the switch and you can go and obtain anything you want, anything you need. Your mind's got the key ingredient, it's belief. They'll see with the negativity, but I just slide right by that energy. Even when you feel low, you can still go.